Check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go!
All right, we talked to William Stanback earlier in the week. Now we're talking to Eugene Lewis. Gino, how are you, man?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for being on. So you are enjoying the off season so far? How's it going?
It's going good, man. It's been awesome. I'm back in Montreal right now. I've been getting some good work in with a couple other CFL receivers, man. So it's been real good.
Can you tell us who you've been working out with?
Yes, I've been working out with Hervey I've been working out with Sam Ellis. Working out with Regis and things like that. So just getting some good work with just some good people.
So what do you get when you work out with guys like that?
You just like build a community, man. You build like a relationship with guys. You know, personal relationships. You know, when it comes to football, and you get to talk to people that really understand. You know the concepts and what's going on when it comes to the CFL.
You were a big play guy, made a big play paycheck, so to speak. But I think you lived up to that paycheck this year. Do you agree?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. A lot of people got to understand, like, the type of paycheck that I had and the contract that I had. Like, it's hard to, sustain those 2 years and not have to take pay cuts and stuff like that. And most of the time, that depends on your production and the things that you do. And that's how I feel about it.
So is it? Listen, it's always about pay. I don't care what anybody says, and it's always about pay in the CFL because I joke it stands for cash flow low, especially for American dudes when our dollar's at 69 cents. Okay, but Ed Hervey, I know, shake your head. Ed Hervey says today, nothing against your talent, but he's not paying you that kind of money. So how do you feel when you hear that from the new GM?
No, I mean, hey, listen, that's how he feels. Like I said before, I never talked to Ed before. We never spoken before, nothing like that. So that's just personally how he feels as a GM, and you just you gotta respect things, and that's how he goes about it. But at the same time, I know what I bring to the table. I know what I'm worth, and I know my talent, and that's on and off the field. And I'm always going to do what I do, and just being consistent, and just doing my job to the best of my ability.
So you were the Easter nominee for the MOP in 2022. Listen, maybe the first year was kind of in a state of flux in Edmonton. That wasn't necessarily Gino Lewis's fault, but last year, as we just talked about, you had a great year. How is this Gino Lewis different from the guy who broke into the league at 31 now?
Oh man, I just think the game has just slowed down for me like so much. Just understanding, the concepts and where you need to be, and the flow of the game. I feel like I'm just like at a different level. Like I would say, like it's like I can see like how LeBron now mentally he's at like a different level in the game, and like you just see everything at a slower pace, and I just feel so good. I'm in my prime still, and I'm ready to keep going, man.
Yeah, 31 years old. Sometimes when guys get to 30, especially in the skilled positions, they go off a cliff. But this year was one of your better years health-wise, wasn't it?
Yeah, I had all 18 games, man. I worked real hard in the off season. And I, like I said, even the year before, like I could have came back a little bit early, but as the team, they needed also to, salary cap and put me on the 6th game and things like that. They helped on the salary cap, so I had to sacrifice too, when it comes to things like that. So
do you feel, with what Ed said and everything like that, do you think your time at Edmonton's done?
I don't know. We never know. At the end of the day, like I said, we still have to see everything. I still gotta, talk to my agent, see how everything flows out, but. For me, man, I've been in this league a long time now. I've been through everything. I've been on one team. I've been on other teams. So it's just a process. Sometimes you just got to be a little patient, understand that certain things are happening, certain things are moving. And, for me, like I said before, I'm going to do what's best, for my family, for the best decision. And if that's in Edmonton, then that's great. And if it's somewhere else, then it has to be somewhere else.
What is the CFL? I asked William Stanback this the other day. This is a second chance league. Like it's everybody, when you were growing up, you obviously didn't even know what the hell a CFL was. So it's not like you aspired to be a CFL player. You want to be an NFL guy, but the NFL, a lot of politics. Maybe the guy's not in the right place at the right time. So you're still playing pro ball. You're playing in Canada. What has this league meant to you?
For me, man, this meant everything because, just personally, I went to Penn State University and I went to Oklahoma University. And, after that, I just went to 2 rookie mini camps. I went to Cincinnati and I went to Seattle. So that was just a couple of days. And, Ever since then, I've been in the CFL, and it really was a second chance, but it was really my first chance, to be truthfully honest. And this is where I've been this whole time, and I was able to grow as a person, as a player, as a student of the game. And I'm just so grateful to be embraced, by the CFL, and just had the opportunity to keep my dream alive, and try to break records and make history the most I can.
So you're a guy that still is in his prime, but you talked about some of the guys you're working out with. Hergy Mayala, Sam Amelis, those kind of guys. Just talk about what you see in their game. Two up-and-coming great Canadian receivers.
Yeah, man, they good dudes, man, and they're super, super good on the field, man. Like, just creative, and especially like just knowing their stories, and just starting in Canada, and just seeing the difference when they go down to Division 1, and you could tell that their game just kept developing as they kept playing, and when they come back up here, you could see that it translates to the game, and it's like just awesome to see them guys just keep developing, and having a chance to help them guys as much as I can too.
Hey, Eugene, besides the fact that it's given you a chance to play and earn a living, the CFL, what do you like about the rules in our game?
Personally, I love the special team rules in the sense of like the halo. Like, I just think it opens the game up. There's more opportunity for guys, to play up here. Special teams guys get an opportunity to really show their talents and change the game in a dramatic way. So I really, really like the special teams, the field being bigger, and it being 3 downs, you got to throw the ball more. So, for the receivers, it's more action. It's a faster game, and, a lot of big plays can happen real fast.
Yeah, Luke Wilson, the Canadian who's on TSN and used to be with the Seattle Seahawks, saying we should limit the amount an offense can punt. I think there are too many rules anyway. Like, I love the fact that you got to do something with the ball in almost every play in our league. And the other thing is, Mark Trestman, the old Alouettes coach, used to preach us 57-3. It's a 57-minute and then a 3-minute league. The game's never done, right?
Absolutely. Listen, that's a true fact. The last 3 minutes of a CFL game is a whole new game. It's anything that can happen. I've been in so many crazy games where you think it's over and it's not. It's unbelievable the things that happen in those last 3 minutes, man.
So, you're in chase of a record, man. You caught touchdowns in 8 straight games to end the season. I think 10's the record with Terry Evanchan. Do you care much about those records? Does that one mean specialty? Do records mean more to you as you get older?
Absolutely, man. I definitely, because you have to understand that's a really, really hard record to even, get up there to be named with those guys. So it's like, if you have a chance and you have an opportunity to, surpass it and get to it, tie it up or whatever, man, I think you really should, because I think it helps the player. I think it helps the league. I think it helps the team that he gets on. So it's just a blessing to stamp yourself in history. In this beautiful game that's given us another opportunity. So for me, I think it's a huge and big thing, and I think it's something I really want to do.
So do you think the quaintness of the league, 9 teams, do you think that makes it harder or easier on guys? Because I would think you can't fool anybody. Like, you're playing a lot of the same teams a lot of the time. And do you like that aspect of the league?
It's good. I mean, I would definitely wish we had some more teams, just because it would, like I said, it would change things up in dynamics. It would give more people opportunities. But, like for me, I do like playing teams, because sometimes you might lose to a team and you get to play them back to back. I like it, and I can't stand it at the same time, but it's like, if you do lose, it's like, all right, we get to play them again right away. So it's like, it just all depends on how you see it. I think it depends on, where you're at in the providences and stuff like that too. But like I said, I'm just appreciative of the league.
So Trey Ford, what do you make of him? Do you think he has a pretty bright future ahead of him as a starting quarterback in this league?
Yes, I do, man. I think Trey is an awesome talent, man. Trey is a great dude. He's a great person. And he's going to be a great player. I think he has so much potential. I think once he just gets to the point where he's able to, see his feet and see his hands both go at the same speed and at the same, they're all correlated together. Man, his potential, man, is super high. Because he's a video game.
Yeah. How much did you help a guy like that? Because obviously you got McLeod Bethel Thompson on one side, who's a veteran. He's been all over every league possible. And then you got Trey Ford, who is a wet behind the ears. How much does a veteran like Eugene Lewis help out a Trey Ford?
Yeah, because I just tell him, listen, just give me a chance. You don't have to throw me a perfect ball. It doesn't need. If I would be the eraser, I'll make it look good. Just you give me a chance, man, and I got your back. And if you ever feel like you're in trouble, like I'm your safety net. Like sometimes it might be two people there, but understand like that doesn't matter. So it's like I just tell them like if you ever feel like you need it, you getting around, and I'll just fine, man. I got you. So I think it just helps them out.
Do you have a favorite touchdown in your career so far, off the top of
In
your
my
head?
career, oh man, my favorite touchdown in my career, man. It's a couple. I would definitely say when I was in Montreal, I want to say it was 2021. We played Hamilton at Hamilton, and I had like the game winner on a 3rd and 11. That was crazy. I would definitely say.
A couple years ago, you had a long distance one against the Riders too, where you went all the way.
2023, 102-yard touchdown. My first game at Edmonton. Yeah, that was crazy. But honestly, for that to happen, like the first game of the season, like that's nothing but God, man. That was incredible. But I always knew it was always possible. You just need that opportunity.
What's that like on a 102-yard run when you're going down the field? Okay, like does it feel like you're never going to get to the goal line? Does everything slow down for you? Take a mere mortal like me into your football cleats.
Well, yeah, first the play was crazy just because I lost the dude. So when I was coming down and I realized, I'm about to land on my feet and there's nobody back there, I'm really cruising, but I'm just like, all right, let me make sure you get there before people start catching up. And then when you got that much time, you're kind of thinking about like, all right, what kind of celebration I want to do. Without I actually didn't even think. I gave the ball to a kid that was in one of the little sections, and I was just grateful, man. That was an awesome day, man.
So when you're running, I think that was to the scoreboard end, if I'm not mistaken, like the big screen end. Are you looking at looking at the big screen to see who's coming behind you?
No. I already knew it was nobody there. It was literally nobody. There was cover zero. And once I got past that, it was touchdown, man, to the Baja.
Okay, here's a question for you. Is it tougher to catch? Now, this sounds like a dumb question, but I don't know if it is. When you're in traffic and it's a bang play, is that tougher, or is it tougher when you're wide open and you're waiting for that ball to come down and it's like, will it ever come down?
It's when you're wide open and you're waiting for the ball to come down, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because sometimes you might relax because you're like, all right, come on, you're just waiting for it, but it's like you can't mess those up because there's no excuse. If it's a bang play, hey, that would have been a hell of a catch. But the ones that you gotta make, we gotta make those.
Yeah. Hey, Gino, is besides money, what are you looking for in your next situation? Like what is going to matter to you in your next situation?
Like I said, I'm trying to win a Grey Cup, man. Like that's one of the big things in my career that I feel as though really put me over the hump as like an elite receiver. So, I already feel like I'm an elite, but to get over that big hump, I just feel like a Grey Cup, puts that stamp on it. And man, like that's what it's about. Like I want to go wherever I go. If I'm in Edmonton, like I want to feel like I'm one of those people that can help win a Grey Cup, and that's what I bring to the table. That's what I want to be known as, and that's all I want to do, man. I want to bring a Grey Cup.
So they got knocked out of the playoffs, Tampa, but I wondered if you watched that Saints game at the end of the regular season when Mike Williams was like 4 yards short of 11 straight Mike Evans, pardon me, was 4 yards short of 11 straight 1,000-yard seasons to tie Jerry Rice. Did you find that? Were you on the edge of your seat for that, watching that?
It's so crazy, man, because you have to understand, like that's incredible. Like really just 11 straight seasons with 1,000 yards is unbelievable. Like you have to give a guy like that a lot of credit, even though he might have been underrated. You know what I'm saying? Like just because of the other guys that he was playing, his peers and stuff like that. But listen, man, that's incredible.
Can you be an all-time great without winning a championship? Like, do you think you'd be an all-time great if you didn't win a championship here in the CFL?
Yeah, this is what I feel. I feel like you can be an all-time great if you didn't win a Grey Cup. But I feel to be the best, like the number one, even at your position, like whatever, you have to have won a Grey Cup. Just because to be number one, you had to also, accomplish the biggest goal. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, for sure. Hey, and lastly, I've asked other guys this, talking about where you're going to end up. you come to Saskatchewan, like Winnipeg is stocked with receivers. So I'm not saying you would be. I'm not saying you wouldn't be on their radar. And the Riders have some receivers too, but I think they could use an explosive American deep threat. That's my opinion. But Winnipeg and Saskatchewan are the mecca of football, okay? Like, that is where the fans care about it the most. More so in Winnipeg than Saskatchewan, just because of recent seasons. But have you ever thought about playing in Saskatchewan when you're on that visiting sidelines and the pomp and pageantry of bring them out, and the Riders run out there? Because listen, when you grow up in the States, you think about being an NFL guy. Those would be the two CFL markets where you're treated as close to an NFL guy as you would be.
Okay, so you don't think Edmonton got the fans like that?
I think Edmonton used to have the fans like that, and I think maybe they're starting to come back. But I mean, let's be honest. You guys played to a pretty empty stadium until recently. Like this year, they were starting to come back. But well, what do you think?
We started to get it packed up. Like we got a consistent, fan base in there, and I think I would appreciate those. I appreciate those fans because of the product that was going on, the last couple of years and things like that. But I would say this: you have to understand. So me before, when I was in Montreal, Saskatchewan was like our main nemesis. Like at the time,
Yeah.
like it just was like it was kind of like it was a lot of great tension, but good.
Yeah.
It was just good football, man. So it was
Yeah.
like I always wanted to play Saskatchewan in the Grey Cup. Like I always wanted to when I was there. So, but I will say this though: the Saskatchewan setup and the stadium, it is super super dope. Like I went there for the 2022 Grey Cup, and just like the whole setup, man, it was definitely amazing. Like that whole campus is a beautiful place.
Well, man, I can't wait to see where you end up, and can't wait to keep watching. Will 87 be the number you keep to wherever you go? Is that what you want to keep?
For sure, that's my number, man. You know it.
That's your number, man. Good. We know where to find you. Hey, thanks for your time, man. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate you.
Hey, that's a nice name. Tylan Gorniak. I didn't know your dad has been with me at the dealership the last little bit buying vehicles for the company Connexus, but he would just refer to you as Tylan. Everybody call you Ty. Who calls you Tylan besides mom and dad, maybe?
Honestly, nobody. Nobody calls me Tylan, but usually they just call me like Gorn Dog or like Gorn. It just kind of stemmed from football, honestly.
Gorn Dog. Okay, I like that. I
Yeah.
like that. So that is your nickname, Gorn Dog?
Yeah, that's my nickname.
Awesome. I've met both your parents. Looks like you're taking after mom for the hair, although dad's got good hair too.
Appreciate that.
That's what it looks like. Okay, so you've signed with the Rams. Back up a bit so we could see the sweater there. Can you just show us? Or yeah, there you go. So you're going to officially be signing on Tuesday.
Yes.
I don't think I'm going to be airing this on Tuesday, so you will already have signed. Just your thoughts on joining the Rams.
Oh, I'm excited. Like, just excited for the opportunity, honestly. Like, I've been waiting to kick, and that's just been my passion for however long. So it's just a good feeling to see that, like, being able to continue past high school, honestly.
Good friend of mine's John Ryan, who played for the Rams, went to the Bombers, Packers, Seattle Seahawks. You know that for sure.
Oh, yeah.
He said he used to kick the ball till it got dark and the light posts came on and would kick to himself. When did kicking become a passion for you?
Well, basically, when I was growing up, I played soccer a lot, and like I played soccer since I was like 6 years old. And then when I joined Mighty Mites, there was no kicking in Mighty Mites. But then the next age group, that's when kicking was involved. I was like, hey, I play soccer, like I can kick pretty hard. Let me just try this out. And then ever since then, it's literally just stemmed. And my dad actually built me field goal posts like in my backyard, so I've been doing that since a long time. So every day I used to just go out in my backyard and kick field goals, and it's just become a passion from that.
So your dad, Conrad, like
Yeah,
I was talking to him more about sports and his kids than actual vehicles.
I
And
believe it.
no, and he never told me he built goalposts. Like what did he make them out of?
So he took these like it was just these long like metal poles, and then he like welded them together, and we like brought it out, and we had to like we had to dig a big hole and then put like concrete into it, and then we had to, just like
Mhm.
put the pole into it, and then yeah.
So you helped Dad?
Yeah, I helped him a bit as much as I could. I didn't really know what I was doing though.
Oh, I wouldn't either, so I'm not critiquing you. So how often do you kick? Like, are you there from when it's spring till it gets too cold to kick, or what?
Well, I pretty much like up until like this off season because I didn't play selects this year, but I pretty much kicked all throughout the year my whole life because when it came winter, like I would play selects, and
Hmm.
that pretty much stems through the whole winter because we practice and then we go down to the States and play. So I was kicking all year pretty much, and then at home when I wasn't playing. So yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so you got an acreage there in the Balgonie area. I know that much. Your dad told me that much. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the terrain? What's the terrain like for kicking field goals there?
It's a bit rough, but I honestly think that's an advantage for me. It's a pretty good field, like once we like mow everything down, but we have this big like open space that probably like it's just out to the side of my house that's probably like 60. I probably have like 60 yards to work with, maybe like 70 if I go into the rough more, but yeah, so it's a good feeling because I'm stepping on like if I am in like a rough patch, then like it just like honestly trains me for like outdoor fields that I'll be playing on, and like when I was in high school and like in the rural league areas. So
Hmm.
yeah,
So it was a good season for Greenall. That's where you played. My buddy Marco Ricci, head coach. Scott Schultz
yeah.
was there. Andrew Green. Tell me what the season was like.
Oh, it was awesome. Like I don't think I've ever been part of a team that's been like so dedicated. Like we went in and it was like a new league and new coaches. We didn't really know what was going to happen, but all the kids stuck to it, and it was just became a passion and like a goal for all of us to win that final, and that's all that was on our minds the whole season. I haven't been with like a team that's really had that main goal collectively with no guys like slacking off. Like even if there are guys that are slacking off, like as a team we kept them in tune, and it was a really good experience.
So your brother Josh was a punter and kicker for the Thunder. Your dad was telling me he kicked so much one season that like he hurt his foot. It was bruised and bleeding and everything.
Yeah, it was rough. I remember he came home the one day and his foot was all like purple, and then he went in and he had like a stress fracture from kicking so much at the practice.
Crazy. So place kicker, punter, are you doing both, or what did you get recruited for?
Yeah, so I'm actually doing both, and that's really exciting because I've been working on my punting a lot. Like punting wasn't my strong suit like earlier in my kicking career, but lately I've been working on it a lot, and it's become like a lot better for me. And it's always been kickoffs and field goals that I've excelled at, but punting has really gotten up there recently, so I'm excited for that.
Awesome. So do you go to any camps or anything? Like it's not easy being a kicker in Saskatchewan when it's cold. And I know you mentioned
Yeah.
the selects, and I'll get to that in a second, but do you go to any camps or do you get tips from anybody?
Yeah, of course. So I want to say 2 years ago is when I actually went to my first like big camp. I went down to the States in Minneapolis and I kicked in, it's called Cole's Kicking. And so
Okay.
it's pretty much just a national, like it's in the States, it's like all of North America. These kickers, the best kickers, will come in and go into these tryouts or camps and evaluations, and they'll kick and get evaluated, and then they'll rank the kickers in North America. So yeah, that's
So
pretty much.
did you get ranked?
I didn't get ranked because I think I went to Coles when I was in grade 10, I
Mm-hmm.
believe. So I think that I might have been too young for that, but yeah, it was a good experience. And then also, I played in the CFC prospect game, so
Right.
there was basically a tryout held in Moose Jaw, and I went there, and one of my good buddies now, Chris McLean, he's actually being the kicking coach for UFC, I think now, and he was evaluating me there, and he was like saw my leg, he was like, okay, like what the heck's going on here? He was a little surprised, so he was like, yeah, you'll definitely be coming to Ottawa with us, and I got the invite to play in the prospect game. There was just one other place kicker, and me on the one team, him on the other, and it was a really good experience.
So you're the guy you know is in Calgary. Why did you pick the Rams instead of Calgary? You just wanted to stay close to home?
Yeah, so Rams, like, I've always known the Rams as like a really good special teams. Like, they take their special teams seriously, and I've always known that. And I know pretty much everybody on the Rams, and I just know that they're like really good people there. So that kind of influenced my decision. And I saw that I knew all the time like that John Ryan started with the Rams. He made it to the NFL, and that's my end goal. So that really influenced me.
That's awesome. What kind of kickers do you like to watch? Give me some names. Do you watch any CFL kickers first off, since we're a Canadian, the country of Canada?
Yeah, so I was actually trained by Brett Lawther.
Oh, nice.
During one of our select seasons. So that's my GOAT kicker for the CFL. And then I like Justin Tucker, Cameron Dicker, Harrison Butker. There's a lot of good kickers, and Brandon Aubrey, actually, he's got the biggest leg in the NFL right now.
Yeah, I'm a Chargers fan, so I'm Dicker the kicker, and he's got the best nickname too. He's got the best Dicker the kicker. Come on, man.
He's great. His field goal percentage this year has been off the charts. It's been
and believe me, I've watched Chargers football for a long time.
Oh yeah,
and they've had some good kickers in the regular season and not so much in the playoffs. And they blow it in the playoffs. So there you go. Selects, they just had their greatest show on turf, the indoor tournament. I don't know if you ever played in that one indoors, but talk about that tournament and how much the Selects have helped you as Zelko and the gang there.
Oh yeah. Okay, so that tournament is basically they bring in as many of the best teams that they can find into the indoor facility during the winter, and they play these teams just kind of like, I would say, get ready to go down to the States and just to get like the team getting used to games and stuff. So yeah, that's a really good tournament actually. It just kind of preps everybody and just to see where we're at. So yeah, that was a good tournament. And selects, yeah, like I've played select since I was like 10 years old, and it's just the coaches are so good, and especially during the off season, and just to have that much extra practice, it elevates your game so much. You're just working 2 times the amount as the person next to you if you're playing that. So yeah. They're great people. I love selects. Yeah.
I agree. So 2 more questions for you. What are you going to take in school?
I'm going to take business, actually.
Okay. And your brother was a nurse, but then he just didn't like some of the duties they had to do in nursing. So he's in business. So you're following him. So you want to own your own business one day?
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. It just opens up quite a bit of doors for me. So yeah. That's kind of where I'm at for that.
Okay. And turn your head to the side there. Yeah. Okay. And the other side. Do the other way. No, the other way. Yeah, there you go. So is that what we call a new age mullet?
Yeah, that's what you call a new age mullet. That is
new age mullet. Okay. So do you know who Billy Ray Cyrus is?
I've heard of him. I'm pretty sure.
Google Billy Ray Cyrus from the 90s. Yeah, ask your mom and dad. Your dad's name's Conrad. Your mom's name again slips my mind.
Kimberly.
Yeah, so ask them Billy Ray Cyrus, and you'll be able. If you look it up, you're probably looking it up right now. He's got like a mullet. Yeah, exactly. Or Yarmer Yager, the hockey player from Pittsburgh back in the day. Yeah. So, do you have a girlfriend, Tylan?
I don't. Not right now.
Well, I got news for you. You're not going to get one when you got better hair than them, bro.
Well, we can't say that now.
Hey, man, congratulations. I look forward to watching you play university football and following your football journey. Thanks for guesting with me. I appreciate it.
I really appreciate you having me. Thank you.
All right, Bourbon and Betting is back with our friend Andy McNamara. Now, it's been a while. We've had holiday season, and so I kind of shut it down. Then I wanted to have you on last week, and you were sick, And I said, you're asking me for all these tips on voice and stuff. And I said, well, why don't you need antibiotics? He said, oh, no, Ballsy. It's not no, Ballsy, it's not antibiotics. It's COVID. And then you went to the doctor.
That's what I was told.
And guess what? Who's right? The guy in his basement doing podcasts and selling cars at Crestview Chrysler. I am right. So I'm the doctor right here. The doctor's in the house.
The doctor's in the house. Listen, people, forget modern medicine, okay? You just message Ballsy and take care of you.
Yeah,
Fix you right up.
Exactly.
Shame on me.
Right
Shame on me.
And I didn't even charge you, Andy.
That's right.
All joking aside, how you feeling?
Still a little. Oh God. Yeah, you got me good, Ballsy there. Yeah. No. on the mend. Feeling much better. But still the odd hack here and there, right? So
okay. So the Dallas Cowboys are a lot like the Riders in the CFL. It's a very recognizable brand. In fact, America's team, and a lot of people call it Canada's team. Okay, but both are running into the same problem: apathy. And Jerry Jones is looking at his stands going, holy cow, I need eyeballs on my team. And Jerry loves attention. In fact, I think he loves attention more than winning. He says he wants to win, but he doesn't really spend money on free agents or waits to the last second, okay? Deion Sanders now, as I kind of said a couple weeks ago, I wouldn't be shocked if he becomes head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. How realistic do you think that's going to be?
I don't think it's going to happen. I would love it from a storyline standpoint. That would just be a ton of fun because you have crazy Jerry and crazy Deion. Mm-hmm. Let's see what happens, right? I think that'd be a great time. But do I think it'd be the right move for Deion right now? I don't. Also, as we know, Ballsy, a lot different from Deion's style of motivating and trying to mold young men into superstars and all. It's a bit different. Now, Deion's done it, and he can point to the rings. He can point to the Hall of Fame, so he's got the credentials up and down. But it's different motivating guys who need you to get to the pros compared to guys who are making millions and like, Deion, cut the crap. So I think for now, anyway, maybe he sticks at Colorado State for a little bit. But, hey, it's Jerry Jones, and it's Deion Sanders with an ego. So anything is possible.
So I know you won't like him because of the team that he coaches. I like Mike Tomlin. I've always liked Mike Tomlin, but
good coach.
Mike McCarthy needs to call Mike Tomlin and ask who his publicist is. Okay, so let me read these off. Okay, for the folks, you probably know because you're a numbers guy.
I saw this. Yeah.
Both guys have coached 18 seasons as head coaches. Both guys have 12 playoff appearances. Mike McCarthy has 8 division titles. Mike Tomlin has 7 division titles. Mike McCarthy is 11-11 in the playoffs. Mike Tomlin is 8-11, and they both have a Super Bowl win. Yeah. Now, I mean, what? Like one guy, everybody thinks he's a joke, and the other guy, they're starting to think maybe Mike Tomlin should leave. But they definitely, you just said good coach. I said good coach. I don't necessarily. I think Mike McCarthy's a good coach, but even I don't think they're on the same level.
Right, and I guess you have to look at who's been able to do more with less. And I don't even think you can make a direct comparison fairly that way because the defenses of the Steelers have always been really good. Since Roethlisberger in the last couple years, Ben was a horse, factor.
Yeah, he was horseshit. Yeah, he was horseshit.
And so then it's like, okay, well, you don't have a quarterback and you're still doing that. But then, I like Dak Prescott as much as the next guy, but we're not talking about Joe Montana in his prime here, right?
That's right.
So, I seeing those numbers was really interesting to me because I was like, you know what? It's not fair to just call Mike McCarthy a joke. I don't think that's fair at all. And I don't think it's maybe fair to give Mike Tomlin as much credit as he deserves, which is just fine by me. I'm happy to take any credit away from a Steeler. But I think when it comes down to it, hard-nosed, maybe more disciplined. Maybe that's the feel. I feel Tomlin's teams maybe are more disciplined than McCarthy's. But you look at the end of the day, man, you look at the records, and McCarthy's record is a little bit better.
Yeah, it is. Maybe Tomlin gets more street cred because the Steelers never make any changes. Like, he's the third coach since I've been alive. Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, Mike Tomlin.
Maybe.
Right?
Maybe.
Okay, let's get to the games this weekend, man. It's going to be outstanding there, Coffee Cofferson. So we've got the Washington Commanders and the Detroit Lions. Let's start there.
Boy.
Washington is not going to be an easy out, but Detroit's getting healthy. I think Detroit's too much. I'd say probably an 8-point victory there. That's what I would conservatively say.
Well, we're seeing right now in Vegas 8.5-point favorites for the Lions, so the books are agreeing with you there, Ballsy. Boy, it's tough, man. Like, I don't want to count the Commanders out, but at some point you see with young teams, especially with quarterbacks, you just hit that bit of a wall year one, okay?
Yeah.
You get, and then you fall flat. That 8.5 number doesn't sit right with me. And really then, if you're like, okay, well, do you go with the Lions straight up win? Well, that's minus 510. We're not getting any value there.
No,
so
we're not.
You might want to go alternate spread, check things out. Over-under is at 55.5, which seems, I hope it's that, but that seems a little heavy.
Yeah.
Even the under, that's minus 112. You might be better looking like an anytime touchdown Terry McLaurin, a little mix and match there when it comes to the betting side. I'm not seeing a whole lot of value in just anything with the spread, money line, or over-under.
You know, that over-under, though, interesting, because Washington really has a tough time covering people. And Detroit had some injuries on defense, and they can move the ball around the field. So it'll be interesting to see, but I think that could be just a little high. You're right. Let's just stay in the NFC now. You got the Philadelphia Eagles against the LA Rams. You know, I haven't watched a lot of Rams football, but I've been, peeking here or there, but I watched that game in its entirety. That defense is good. It's inexpensive, and it's good. That D-line can fly around. I've been underwhelmed with the Eagles at times. I have a tough time believing LA will go in there. I don't even know what the spread is. I would say if it's like 5 points, what is it?
I was going to say, you tell me what you think.
I think it's about 5.5 points.
Close, 6.5 Eagles.
I'm taking the Rams. I'm taking the Rams in the point, like the cover. Yeah, I'm taking the Rams to cover, and I might even take them on an outright win. I got Detroit, LA, Stafford and Goff, a rematch, but this for the trip to the Super Bowl.
Boy, you know what? I like what the Rams. I had told you before the playoffs. I said whoever faces the Vikings in the first round of the playoffs, I'm taking them before I knew the opponent, because I knew Sam Darnold would turn into a pumpkin, and he did just a week earlier than I thought. Yeah. So I knew that, but they're still on the decline. You're right. Value defense, it's just not up to the firepower, I don't think, of this Eagles team when they click. Now, you're right. Have they been inconsistent? Sure. But, oh man, I just feel like how you have Jalen Hurts, you got Goddard, who is absolutely on fire, double stiff-arming people, and then the defense is flying around enough. You got that Nolan Smith who's looking really good too. I think the Eagles can do it, and I think they do it by a touchdown. I would take him with the points. I'll take the Eagles for a tutty, man. I think they do it.
I don't know. Hold on a sec. Give me 1 second.
Oh boy.
It's this team's fault. Fault that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be in the AFC Championship game again. The Chargers laid an unbelievable egg in that game against Houston. Houston is barely a playoff team.
I'm with you.
So once again, the Kansas City Chiefs, who are the worst 15-2 team ever in the history of pro football, because there's never been a 15-2 regular season team, right? Nobody's been 15-2, and they probably should have been 16-1. So that's a gimme. Kansas City's going to roll Houston all day long.
You know what's interesting? It's the same storyline as it was a year ago with the Texans. My Browns went into Houston, got thumped inexplicably. Your Chargers go in. Justin Herbert threw more interceptions in one game than he did the whole year. Yeah, I have zero explanation for what happened in that game. I have no idea. But the Texans did it. You're right. This comes down to an end here. 8.5-point favorites for the Chiefs. I think I'm taking that, Ballsy.
I think so too. I think so too. Like I got no confidence 20. And
Mixon is banged up as well.
Yeah.
For the Texans. Keep that in mind too.
I got 31-17. I think it's. I think
this is the start. This is the opening game Saturday. I think it's a snooze fest, to be honest.
Really?
I don't think it's very. I don't think this is going to be an interesting game. And you're right. Chiefs march on to yet another conference championship.
Okay, and so so I want Buffalo to win. I want Buffalo to win because I'm going to tell you this. This might be the first 14, because the Bills won 14, right? Did they win 14 or 13? Did they win 14? I think they won 14 games. Yeah, they got 14 games. They were number two in the seed. They won 14 games. This will be the team.
No, they're 13-4. 13-4.
13-4. Okay, so this will be. Sean McDermott will get fired if they don't win this game. If they don't win this game, Sean McDermott is fired because Bill Belichick has not signed a deal at UNC yet. He can get out of it. He has not signed a contract officially.
Right.
There's a reason. There's a method to his madness. He wants Don Shula. He wants that. He's used to He wants to be back, and I bet you he wants to be back in the AFC East. And if Sean McDermott doesn't win, he is fired. That'll be like when Marty Schottenheimer got fired by the San Diego Chargers back in the day with a 14-win season.
Wow.
I want Buffalo to win, but I think Baltimore is going to win. With Lamar, with the 2 tight ends that are going, with Henry that's going, I don't know what the spread is there. What is the spread?
1.5. It's a pick.
Yeah, that's a pick 'em game. I got
Ravens are the favorite, 1.5.
Okay,
favorite.
so I got the Ravens like 28-24.
Hells no, Ballsy. No way. Exposed will be the word of the day Sunday night, my friend, after we finish 4 quarters of play. Exposed again. And I will be proven right once again, like I am every year, that Lamar Jackson is a fraud when it comes to playoff football. He's a phony, he's a fraud, and he's going to get exposed. And he'll put up his flashy numbers, he'll zip around. Oh, Andy, what about all the touchdowns? Okay. Yeah. Have fun with that. Josh Allen's going to run over your ass. Then the Bills' defense is going to pound your ass into the ground, and you're going to be exposed again. And then you can throw all the nice little MVP flowers at Lamar and his Madden ratings and ooh la la, and Josh Allen is going to go kick Pat Mahomes' butt in the conference championship.
Well, from your lips to the football god's ears, I hope you're right, because you know me, I don't buy Lamar Jackson stock. I have a feeling.
No.
Okay, says the Browns guy. Okay,
no.
So let's go to the NCAA football championship, FBS style. We've got the Ohio State Buckeyes
sure do, buddy.
Against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Right? Am I right? Yeah, Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Yeah. Sorry, I got all the football, everything going on. So I'm a Catholic guy. I'm cheering for the Catholic school.
Right.
But I just don't see a way that Notre Dame beats Ohio State.
I also agree. Give me a little OHIO Buckeyes, baby. And I'm Irish, so I, growing up, I didn't hate the Fighting Irish. I had the little cool, pardon me, leprechaun guy, all that. It was great. But Buckeye, like Ballsy, when you look at this Buckeyes team, when they play anybody but Michigan, if they click, it's over, and it's not the other team's fault. They are just too damn good. The fact that you have, and he was held in check. They didn't even have to use Jeremiah Smith. Ballsy, Jeremiah Smith just turned 19 years old. That guy would be the number 1 overall consensus, no doubt, pick in the NFL draft this year. And he still can't come out for 2 more years. This team is loaded. Running back.
Yeah.
Jack Sawyer went legend with that smack fumble on Quinn Ewers, took it to the house. You got this guy, watch this guy number 8, Ransom, safety. Guy's a buzzsaw. He's a magnet to the football for Ohio. He's going to be all over the place. The problem with Notre Dame is, their offense is all running. They're the Lamar Jackson of college football. Okay, they can't throw.
No.
Okay, they're not throwing the ball. The Buckeyes are going to be smart enough. They'll pin them down. And I hope it's a competitive game, but ultimately, as long as the Buckeyes don't outthink themselves like they have in the past, they're just too good.
What's the spread?
Ooh.
You see it? Do you see it? Sorry, I don't have the spread. I was just leaving that to you. Can you see it?
Let's see here. We got only 8 points for Buckeyes.
As we talk now, I think that could be like a 10, 12-point game. Totally.
I think so too. I'm actually, you know what? That actually is good news for Notre Dame. If it's 8 points, it means people believe they can hang around, which I'm not so sure they can.
Did you like the playoffs here? Like
I do.
I do, but like, how does an Oregon get a home playoff game? Oregon was undefeated. They never got one home playoff game. What the hell is that?
Well,
like, they never got a home playoff game. They never got one. They were the best team.
It's a good point.
That's crazy. Here, let's go. Let's talk playoffs. NFL, whether you like the Vikings or not, there's no way in God's green earth that a 14-3 team travels to LA or I guess Arizona. So I'll let you go because you're dying. But there's no way that should happen. Like that's division winners should get an automatic berth, but then they should be reseeded based on
that. Yeah. I agree. It's got its flaws, but it was fun. It's a whole bunch of different teams who haven't played each other before. It's pretty neat.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to let you go because you're dying. But where can they find you, bro?
Get me on
If
X
you're
at
alive.
AndyMC81, at SickPodBrowns, and Instagram at AndyMCSports. Cannot wait. Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern, we're going to be live talking NFL football.
Go get the puffer. Go get the antibiotics. Drink some bourbon, and we'll talk to you soon, bro.
All right, buddy. See ya.
Thanks.